thing was to
breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Yo, we got Jasmine Crockett getting ready to speak up for the young man, Karmelo Anthony. I'm not even gonna waste too much time because we did the intro, but then I'm gonna do a video where I'm gonna get into the psychological effects of what Karmelo Anthony's first weekend was like in prison. The part that breaks most men is what I'm gonna talk about. All right, but we're gonna hear Jasmine Crockett kick it real quick. You know what I mean? You wanna hear Jasmine Crockett kick it? Let's ride. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Seeing that Karmelo Anthony was sentenced to 35 years, I want to get your reaction to the trial and the verdict.
My heart breaks for so many reasons. And so I was just speaking to a student that is shadowing me who wants to be a public defender. And so it takes me back to what actually made me decide to get into this legislative work in the first place, because I know that our systems are broken. And what we saw with that verdict is the evidence of a broken system. Now listen, from everything that I understand, which I wasn't at the trial because obviously I got a day job, but it's my understanding that Karmelo ended up stabbing, puncturing, I don't know what this tool was that they talk about, knife, or some refer to it as a tool. He ended up hitting Austin one time, and it was about where he hit him. One time, 2 inches. This wasn't someone who said, hey, let me stab you 5, 6, 7 times. And so when you're looking at the punishment range, there's a reason in Texas that it goes from 5 to 99 or life, because you are looking at how intentional, like how bad was this? 35 years for a kid who had decided to go under a tent that was not his team's tent as it was raining, and simply didn't want to be put out in the rain by some random kid that he didn't know who was larger than him. Listen, a lot of people don't know what it is to live as a black person in this country, but just like you can give the benefit of the doubt to so many police officers when they go out and they shoot some black unarmed person, even though they are trained, the fact that there was little to no mercy seen or humanity seen when this black boy said that I was scared, or the fact that honestly anybody else who did something with such a small object, all I know is that it wasn't considered unlawful carrying of a weapon because the blade was not long enough. That they wouldn't even say, well, maybe this was more so something that looked like manslaughter.
Well, some people might say, why are you even bringing a knife like that to a track meet?
Yeah, people may say that, but walk a day in my shoes and then respond. Because we as black folks say, why is it that people need long-armed guns when we are going out and having a First Amendment protest? But people say that's their right. They are allowed to do that. And again, it wasn't against the law for him to have it. It may have been prohibited by school rules, which he wasn't at his school at the time. But it definitely was not against the law.
So you think race played a role in the verdict?
Oh my God. I know Collin County. So absolutely. Collin County is right north of Dallas County. And I can tell you that I have had cases that I felt like played out differently because of the counties that they were in. And unfortunately, that was not the county for a black boy.
So if this were a white boy in his exact same position, you don't think he'd get a 35-year sentence?
I would guarantee you it wouldn't have happened. I don't even know if he would have been convicted, because if a white boy would have said that they were afraid of a black boy, something tells me that that jury that didn't have any black people on it, they would have believed him in his fear.
Hey, y'all, so what we're gonna deal with, right, with this, the way I see this, basically what she's saying is that this is America. You can sit where you want. You can get out the rain where you want. It don't matter if you're a rival team or not a rival team. And that's what the issue seems to be, because when people speak on this issue, they speak on whether, you know, he had a right to be under the tent. Why was he under the tent? It was raining. That's why he was under the tent. It was raining. He wanted to get out of the rain. So do you think that it's right for someone to tell someone to go back in the rain because you don't go to my school or you don't root for my team? That's basically what this come down to put it to the most common denominator so that we could clearly understand. Because right now, Karmelo Anthony's about to spend his first weekend in prison. That part breaks most men. So from hearing Jasmine Crockett break this down as far as where she's seeing it coming from. And this is America. You could sit where you want. You could go under any tent you want. But it had to be some type of motive for there to be, he's not allowed under the tent. Why is he not allowed? Okay, take race off the table. Because he goes to another school. That alone is a crime in its own. And that's where the school coaches, the principals, and everyone else is supposed to come into play. If you agree with me, put it in the comments. But right now, we have a young man that's about to spend 35 years in state prison and have to give them at least 17 and a half. I did 26 and a half years in federal prison, so I know what he's feeling. I know what he's going through. I know his emotional state right now. I know the pain that he's going through right now. But I just wanted to deal with this Jasmine Crockett situation just to let you know where it was at. Make sure you check out the full video that I'm about to do on Karmelo Anthony's first weekend in the prison. But I just want to know, when are you not allowed to get out the rain and get under a tent at a high school game? Please, somebody, let's talk about this. Put that in the comments. When are you not? We're not dealing with, if he's innocent or guilty, the knife was big, the knife was small. We're not dealing with that at Unique Mecca Audio. We're dealing with the lesson of this. We're dealing with the morals of this. We're dealing with the principles of this. Since when is a child not allowed to get out the rain and go under a tent at a high school game that he was invited to? Remember, the team was invited to the game. So we're not going to get into if he had a right to carry a knife, why did he have a knife, how he died, why he died, who did this, whose parents said that. We're not going to get into none of that at Unique Mecca Audio. We just want to stay focused on the core issue. This is 2026. When are we not allowed to get out the tent and go into a game, at a track match? To get on the tent, to get away from the rain. Make that make sense. And now that young man has to spend 35 years of his life in state prison. And his mother has to grieve him. And the victim's mother, rest in peace to Austin Metcalf. His parents got to find their own healing. Both sides is hurting right now. But this is where we have to come together instead of bringing race into it. I saw the stuff going on with Charleston White and the father and the back and forth, and Charleston apologized and the father went and said something, pissed Charleston off. The father just don't understand that, there's a dark side on YouTube that y'all don't know about. So you're really picking it with the wrong one, with the right one for the algorithm, because you will get your story out there messing with Charleston White, all right? The urban community don't mess with Charleston White. And Charleston White gave you an apology, and then you went up there and you done pulled the biggest Band-Aid off the wound. You know what it's going to be like to put Charleston White back in his cage? Because we all trapped in a cage. And we know how far we want to extend that cage, because we choose that cage size by the issues and baggage and friends and family that we choose to allow in that cage. But you can't get no more realer than that. Jasmine Crockett said it. She said it well. But you have to look at it like the family's grieving. They lost a son too. That's what's so sad, that both sides lost. Both sides lost. But, you know, I've been on here long enough. I just wanted to just jump in real quick, give you a little something on that. Now, you know, I'm going to show you why I do this before I go out. This is why I do what I do over here at YouTube, so you understand, all right? This my man, Murder Mook, a brother that's a battle rapper from New York, was going through a troubling times in New York. Life was in a little turmoil, got arrested, it was on camera, went on social media, and he was lit too on social media, as you call it. But during that situation, he was watching my program, Unique Mecca Audio. And I was out one night about 2 in the morning in Harlem, and somebody called him and told him I was out there. And he came out there to meet me, and this is the meeting when I met Murder Mook, when he was explaining to me what my program, Unique Mecca Audio, do, you know, and done for him. All right, let's go, Murk.
Hey, what's going on, man? Murder Mook, Harlem, you know what it is, man. I just want to express how much gratitude I got for Unique. You know what I mean? I was telling him a story, telling him how I felt about, you know, if anything was to go wrong with my career, rap-wise, you know, if, you know, shit be slow, and I got so many opportunities to be able to do the wrong shit. When I watch Unique Mecca Audio, I feel it, and I, like, to my soul, and that's keeping me farthest away from doing anything criminal. Anything criminal. He made me think straight, honestly. Made me think straight, because I've been watching him for about a year, like a year now, mate. And it just took my mind way off of that, way off of that. From a year ago, it got rough. For a year ago, yeah. And from watching this man, I just felt like, you saved me. You saved me. And I just want to show my gratitude, and I want to say thank you, man. Unique Mecca Audio, anything you need, brother, from me.
All right.
Anything you need, man.
All right.
Look.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Fresh out the can of 26, yeah. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. Yeah. What he mentions a gift. Rush. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube you could go and visit. Yeah. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Real. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squealing to the cops, make an audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, you we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend the air. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours, so we can give back to the